Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Am I audible to everybody? Please let me know, guys. Okay, all good. Amazing, guys. Amazing, amazing. So, how is everybody? How are you guys? Please let me know. How are you guys? How is everybody? Please let me know. Thank you so much for asking, Shri. It's all right now. I don't have a lot of pain in the throat, so I'm able to speak a bit clearer as well. But let's see how that goes on. Okay. Great. Please tell me, sir, for day three attendance related because I've written another email ID for attendance because I've forgotten. Kumar Bhavesh. For one day, if that's the case, no issues. Okay, we will be able to manage that. But please make sure that this is not happening from the future. Please make sure that you are using the same email ID. Okay. Okay, great. So, good. So today we'll be having the class for a very long time. Okay, I'm being very clear with you guys that today the class will be for a bit longer because I'm able to speak a bit normally today. Okay, let's see if the throat starts paining in or something. We'll be stopping the class, but we'll try to make sure that we will be able to like increase the duration of the class itself. Okay, and today we will be starting off with the basics of deep learning. That is my plan for today. Okay, we'll start off with the basics of deep learning itself because of multiple reasons. Whatever topics, new topics that comes up in deep learning while learning it, okay, I'll be teaching it to you right over there so that we are able to cover up deep learning properly as well. Okay, and don't worry about it. We'll be covering up the basics very well. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Today we'll be going over so today's class will be a bit theoretical in nature so that we are able to understand how deep learning works and everything. And most of the misconceptions that you guys are having about AI, data science, machine learning, deep learning, I will try to clear that up as well today so that you guys don't have that kind of misconceptions going in the future. Because at any particular point of time, if you guys are attending this boot camp or studying under me, I don't want somebody to say to me that you were teaching these guys and they don't even know what is the difference or the similarity how are AI, data science, machine learning, deep learning related. So that too will be clearing it out first of all today. So there's a lot that we will be doing today itself. Okay, great. So let me know, guys. Most of the people haven't yet come into class. We'll be waiting for 2 more minutes to get started. NumPy pandas, Ganesh. Whenever we will be starting with, when we'll be starting to use NumPy and pandas, right over there as well, I will be teaching you guys NumPy and pandas itself, so that everything is getting taught from the basics. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, Ganesh. I hope that I was able to answer your question. Great, guys. Amazing. Okay, we'll wait for 1 more minute. We'll see if everybody is able to join us or not. Then we'll take up the attendance itself. For those guys who are missing out on attendance, we cannot do anything itself. And we'll start with our class as well. Okay. Please learn dedicated DevOps and cybersecurity course. Make careers, please. We already have a cybersecurity course in place. And DevOps, we don't teach it separately. We teach it with full stack so that you are learning it properly. We're just learning DevOps separately is just a waste of time. Okay. Okay. That has been addressed. Any other questions that you guys are having right now? Okay, so let us get started with our class itself. Okay, let's start with our class itself, guys. Please do let me know. Shall we start with our today's class? Please do let me know. Shall we start with our today's class, guys? Please do let me know. Please bring a bootcamp on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The next bootcamp is on that itself. Okay, so you can just attend the next bootcamp that is there after this. Where is my pen? Okay, here is my pen itself. Okay, so let's get started right away, guys. Today's class is a bit theoretical in nature, so please focus upon it patiently. There's a lot that we'll be discussing today, so please do not skip on any particular topic, otherwise, you won't be able to understand the stuff practically itself. Okay, great. Let me see, where can I see things up? How do I see how many? Okay, yeah, there is a number. Okay. Okay, so let's get started, guys. Can you guys let me know what do you understand? Okay, what do you understand? Do not Google it up. Okay, what do you when if I am a particular normal human being? Okay, I'm a normal human being itself. I'm not an alien, so I think so. I shouldn't have clarified that. So let's assume that if I'm asking you, what do you understand by the term AI or artificial intelligence? What do you understand by the term AI or artificial intelligence? Anything? Can you even put in the chat that Terminator itself? That okay, artificial intelligence is basically Terminator. Okay, it's fine. What do you understand by the term AI or artificial intelligence? What do you understand by artificial intelligence? Robots, tech and robotics, machine understanding human language, assistance, brain of computer, AI program, robot having thinking, robotics, making things automatic, making machines intelligent. Chitti the robot, good example, robotic human being, intelligence that works artificially designed by humans, non-human intelligence. It's a software, game developing. Hey, Rajni, that okay, that's way off track, but no issues. Custom intelligence. Elon Musk told AI is far more dangerous. Okay, that is not what I feel. I didn't ask that question. Okay, function well defined in program. It's have all functions well defined in programming. Okay, humans mind giving robots to update the old to new features, machine thinking himself, human duplicate, autonomous, humans that can lick humans like humans. Okay, I didn't understood that. Why will a human lick a human? Okay, does things humans can't do. Okay, makes our work easy using tech for our tasks for us, induced human like intelligence into machines, study of how to we can make machines like you think like humans, a computer tech that can take its decision, Alexa. Okay, that's a very long version of Marvel, Jarvis. Okay, I am able to see a lot of people who are fans of MCU right over here. Simply, it's artificial. Okay, good. Intelligent slave. Okay, then I think so. You shouldn't believe in Chitti the robot or Terminator that can kill you. Mimic human behavior. So most of the stuff, your team didn't send a message on WhatsApp group. That's why people aren't attending today. Uh, if that's the case, I'll just talk to my team because they are also most of them are unpaid. This is a thing that we are having. We only have volunteers, so we can't ask them anything. If they're not doing it, it's fine. Okay, so I'm able to get a gist of what people are writing right over here. Human software with a brain which can develop its own thoughts. There are a lot of different versions of AI that I'm able to see right over here. What if I told you that every single one of you is wrong? What if I told you every single one of you is wrong itself? Would you believe me? Like every single person in the live chat is wrong. That is the concept that I want you guys to understand. Okay, let's try to understand what you are talking about is what how AI was actually created. Okay, that a robot that can like mimic human behavior. That is what most of you are writing as well. Okay, that is how AI was perceived back in 1950s. Okay, if you're writing this answer right over here in the live chat, that means that you are living in 1950s, and if that is what is being taught to you in your college as well, that means that your college syllabus is from 1950s. It hasn't been updated up till now. Okay, so let us try to understand what artificial intelligence actually is. Artificial intelligence is nothing else. Okay, is nothing else but maths. It's nothing else but maths. Okay, that is what artificial intelligence is. There is no robot. This robotics is not even involved in artificial intelligence. Okay, in AI we'll have a boot camp on AI as well. Okay, like a proper boot camp on AI where I will be showing you guys an entire, like I will be developing a AI that can like play X and zeros, that is cross and zeros, the game that you remember, right? You had a grid and then you had to put cross zero and then cross, and then you were able to win. So we'll have a boot camp, we'll be developing a game like this where you'll be able to play with an AI itself. But AI is nothing else but maths at the end of the day. Okay, it has statistics, it has probability, it has game theory, it has econometrics, it has neurology, neuroscience, it has various different topics, actually psychometrics as well, coming together with the big chunk of it being just mathematics itself at the core. And that is what AI is. Now the applications, what you are writing right over here, okay, what you are writing right over here in the live chat, that Alexa, Siri, or something else like maybe Tesla, all these are just implementations of various fields of AI. Okay, these are just implementations of various fields of AI. That is not what AI is. Okay, AI is just nothing else but maths and algorithms. That's it. AI is maths and algorithms. At the end of the day, it's just algorithms itself. Okay, just like you are having Newton's laws of motion, right? The three laws of motion that exist. AI is basically that. It's nothing else. Okay, it has whatever you are talking about is just basically implementations of AI. Okay, implementations of AI itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. We'll be going a little bit deep as well so that you guys are able to understand all these type of things. But the proper definition of AI will be algorithms that involve like a collaboration between different fields of study. Okay, whether it be your econometrics, you're having probability, statistics, game theory, neurology, all these kind of things that are there, and to have an involvement right over there to do a particular task without any set of rules. Okay, without any set of rules, you don't have to set a rule that okay, these are the rules that are there and you can only do one of these steps. But to be able to use that, it's basically at the end of the day, it's not something conscious. It's not, so we are a conscious being itself. Animals are a conscious being itself. They have their own consciousness. Okay, AI does not has any consciousness inside of it. It's basically an algorithm using predictions and using probability and statistics and econometrics to make a decision. Okay, so all that that is there. The examples that you're giving. Okay, chatbot. My open AI write codes automatic, no need. So the chatbot by OpenAI, if that was so strong, then right now every single company shouldn't have the need of a programmer, right? I shouldn't be paid like almost 90 lakhs to work at a company as a full stack engineer. So that is the point that I'm trying to make. AI is nothing else but an algorithm. That's it. Okay. Now let us try to understand that then what is all these nonsensical thoughts of machine learning, then AI and these like data science, all these buzzwords that we are hearing. Okay, all these buzzwords that you are hearing. These are all buzzwords, okay? Uh, now you will be able to understand it. Let's try to understand this. Let's assume that AI, okay, AI or artificial intelligence is just like physics. AI is a branch of science, okay? AI. Now, if you guys ever want to dive deep into AI, I will give you a book recommendation as well. Okay, a modern PPROACH approach to artificial intelligence. Control A, Control C, Google, Control V. Artificial intelligence, a modern approach. Yes, this is the book that I always says. If you guys ever want to understand in depth about artificial intelligence, you can refer to this particular book. I will just show the image of this book so that it's much more clear. So this is the book that I have used to learn about AI in its entirety. This is the best book out there in the entire world related to artificial intelligence. Okay, Stuart J. Russell and Peter Norvig. So if you guys ever want to learn about what is artificial intelligence in its reality, you can do check this book out. It's amazing. Okay, that is my recommendation. You can just download a PDF. Okay, just search for the name of the book, write GitHub in front of it. You'll get the PDF of this book for free. Okay, please not spend like 3,000 rupees to buy this book. Okay, and this book is this thick. I have this book at home. Okay, I like books, so I have this thick book at my home itself. But you can just download the PDF and start reading it. Okay, it's great. Okay, it's great. You can do check it out. So let's continue from right over there, guys. So like I said, let's assume that AI is a branch of science, just like physics. Now, physics has a lot many number of branches under it, right? So inside of physics, you will have one branch of optics, one branch for electronics, one branch for digital instrumentation, one branch for you are having your I don't know the official name for it, but what do you call that, water flows and everything. Like, I forgot the name of it. It's like water and everything there, flow and study of the flows and everything itself. Mechanics, okay, mechanics, okay, that's good. Fluid dynamics, yeah, fluid dynamics. Fluid dynamics. Thank you so much for answering that. Fluid dynamics. So these are the different branches of physics that exist. Are you guys able to understand this? These are the different branches of physics that exist. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Thermodynamics, yeah. So physics also had one of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics right over here. Okay. So all these are different branches of physics that exist. In a similar way, AI is the field of science. It has different branches under it, and one of these branches is machine learning. One of these set of algorithms that come under AI that have something in common is under machine learning itself. That is one of the branches of AI. You're having other branches of AI as well. For example, soft computing. You are having other branches, NLP, natural language processing. This is where you are having your Siri, Alexa. All this, like, it's just talking about the implementations itself. You are having a computer vision. This is where your Tesla and all these kind of smart cars come into place. Okay, you are having, so there are many more branches of AI that exist. So one of these branches is what is we refer to as machine learning, and plus deep learning itself. So machine learning and deep learning usually go together itself. So machine learning and deep learning is one of these branches of AI. Okay, one of the branches at AI itself. Okay, so first, my main goal right over here is to make you understand that AI is nothing else but a lot of different algorithms that are out there. This entire branch of study has various different fields under it. One of these fields is machine learning, deep learning, and there are other fields that are there, and each of these fields are usually interconnected to each other, because you cannot execute just electronics without mechanics in it. Okay, you cannot execute fluid dynamics without thermodynamics integrated into it. Although physics has so many different branches under it as well, but these branches are also interconnected to each other. They rely on each other to actually work. In the similar way, this is what AI. So it's not as if AI is totally different, machine learning is totally different, deep learning is totally different. They're all interrelated to each other. They all fall under the umbrella of AI. They all fall under the umbrella of AI itself. Our focus on this particular bootcamp will be on deep learning. In the future boot camps, we'll be having boot camps on AI, we'll be having boot camps on machine learning, we'll be having boot camps of NLP, we'll be having boot camps of computer vision. So we are going to have a lot, many number of boot camps as well, guys. So there we'll be going in depth about each one of them. For this particular bootcamp, our main goal, our main what we need to understand is about deep learning. Are you guys able to understand up till here? Please do let me know. Do you have any questions up till here, guys? Please do let me know, guys. Make career, please do not pollute the live chat. If I'm seeing you do that once again, I will just block you from this webinar itself. Please not do that. Yeah, Aditya, the book is absolutely great. Okay, you guys can definitely check that book out. If you need more book suggestions, you can always ask me. I've always studied via books itself. I don't know why, just that I love the smell of books. Like, I'm like people are doing drugs and shit, and I'm like, I need a new book, man. Nice. Okay, so see the thing that I'm trying to make you guys understand is machine learning, NLP, computer vision, all this will be learning in separate boot camps. I can give you a small introduction to it right now. For example, NLP is called as natural language processing. Okay, NLP is called as natural language processing itself, guys. That is basically how to algorithms that help computer, okay, that help computer understand normal language, natural language. So our natural language may be English, Hindi, Punjabi, Bihari, Bengali, maybe Russian, maybe Chinese, Cantonese, maybe Japanese, whatever our natural language is, to help computers understand it. So the algorithms that cater to this particular problem statement fall under NLP, or natural language processing itself. Computer vision is the branch of science that basically helps the computer identify, understand its surrounding itself, being able to give vision to the computer to be able to understand the surroundings around it itself. Okay, so that is basically where computer vision comes into place. Okay, now the second thing, the next buzzword that you have heard about is data science. Okay, the next buzzword that you have heard about is data science, right? So let's talk about it as well, guys. Do you want to understand what data science is? Of course, in the future we will be having a bootcamp on data science as well, so you don't need to worry about it. I will just give you a small introduction so that your mind is actually clear that okay, this is what AI is basically, this is what deep learning we are going to go into a lot of depth, but related to the other topics you are clear. Like when I ask people that what is AI, they say to me that it's a robot killing people or some shit. Like I'm like, dude, like stop watching Hollywood a lot. Hollywood is just like fantasy. It's not something of a reality itself. Okay, that's the picture that has been created for AI. The AI can do a lot of shit. Okay, AI can do a lot of different things itself, not just creating a murderous robot. Okay, that is one of its implementation. That is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Okay, that is one of its implementation, and that is called as what do you call it as? Give me 2 seconds. Okay, I will remember the name. That robot implementation, I remember. I always forget the name itself because of like I don't have good memory. Let me give you 2 minutes. It's something called as R. Give me a second. I forgot the name itself. Something R, something learning. I always forgot the name of that. I'm using my mobile phone to check it. Okay, whenever you forget something, you can just Google shit up. Reinforcement. Yeah, reinforcement learning. Okay, reinforcement learning. That is what is utilized to create these robots that you are able to see. Okay, that is what is called used for creating these robots. That field of AI is called as reinforcement learning. Okay, so I'm trying to make you guys understand that these buzzwords that exist is basically just technical terms. Okay, these are just technical terms. At the core of it, it is just programming and mathematics itself. Now let us try to understand what is data science. Okay, you must have heard about this word, right? Data science. Again, a buzzword that you hear most of the time itself. Okay, so you need to understand. Okay, you need to understand that data science. So data is present everywhere. Okay, right now this live chat is happening. Okay, right now this live chat is happening. How many people on the YouTube itself are currently doing live chat? Maybe millions of people, and billions of people are coming to these live chats and typing something out in the live chat itself, right guys? So all this data is continuously being produced. Not just that, okay, not just that. When you are using your mobile phone, okay, when you are using your mobile phone as well, you are having your location, you are having Bluetooth, you are using different apps, you're generating so much data out there. You're generating so much data out there. So companies need to analyze this data to work, okay, to work at the end of the day. For example, let's assume that Google analyzes all the data that you do, maybe some searches, maybe using different applications, the Android apps that you're currently using, what you're doing on that particular Android app. It uses all that data, your search histories, which type of videos that you are watching on YouTube, which type of searches that you're doing, all that data it is compiling, it is analyzing that and showing you ads. Most of the YouTube's revenue comes from ads itself, and that how it is identifying which ads to show it to you guys. Sometimes you must have seen this as well. You are just talking to a particular person about, like, dude, I want to get that Nike shoe, man, like that shoe is so awesome, it is like beautiful and shit, and then immediately in the evening you are getting ads on shoes. It immediately starting to get ads on shoes itself. So this type of things that is happening. Okay, how does Google? Is there somebody sitting on the other end listening to what you're saying? No. Okay, there are millions, billions of people using Android phones. Okay, nobody is there. It is basically understanding. It is basically understanding the data, analyzing the data, and giving you the recommendations at the end of the day. Okay, giving you the recommendations at the end of the day itself. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to say. Data science is another field of study that basically involves understanding data. Okay, that basically involves understanding data. And what, so data science requires a lot of tools inside of it. Okay, you need Python, you need NumPy pandas, you need to make visualizations, you need to do a lot of like data, like just audio. Okay, nobody can understand audio. Computers can't understand audio itself. So how to understand that audio, convert into text, analyze the text, find out the words that you were meant to see related to the products that it is having, show you the ads right over there. All this is happening using, okay, all this is happening using code itself. Okay, and that entire process is something that is called as data science. One of the tools that data science uses is artificial intelligence. Okay, is AI. It can use machine learning, deep learning, NLP, computer vision. That is just one of the tools that fall under the umbrella of data science. Okay, so just understand this, that AI is there. Okay, it has so many different fields of study under it. Similar to that, data science is another field of study that has one of its tools, not categories, one of its tools that are there. Okay, and that tool is basically AI. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Kayala, see, we have 3-4 days to understand deep learning. We'll just spend 10 minutes on this. Be patient, okay? First, we need to set up the basics clear. Once the basics are clear, then we'll start with deep learning itself. Great. So let us get started with deep learning. Okay. Give me 2 minutes, guys. Give me 2 minutes. Make career, please be silent in the live chat for some time. Okay, do not disturb the class. Okay, just focus upon the class itself. Learn as much as possible. Good. So you haven't told me the name of the book, Amit. Which particular book are you talking about? I've given two names of the books, right? First name that I've given to you guys is for Python. Okay, and the second name is given for AI, right? These are the two books that I've given to you guys. Okay, again a wrong question. Nagendra Reddy Shamla. So Nagendra Reddy Shamla is asking a very wrong question. Let us try to understand where his concept is going flawed. So he's asking difference between artificial intelligence and deep learning. Okay, Nagendra, if I'm saying that human beings, everybody on this planet is a human being itself, and then I'm asking you this particular question that Nagendra, what is the difference between a human being and you? Is that question correct? Nagendra, please help me out with this particular thing. You need to understand this. Nagendra, please let me know. Are you able to understand this question? Asking this particular question that everybody on this planet is a human being, and then I'm asking you this particular question that what is the difference between a human being and Nagendra? Is that a right question? No, you can distinguish them, right? A human being, Nagendra itself is a human being, right? Nagendra itself is a human being. The same thing happens. The same thing happens with AI. That is what I was explaining for the past 30 minutes. Okay, you need to understand this basic thing that AI itself is a branch of science, and under that branch of science, one of its branches is deep learning. Okay, okay. Now that is Nagendra was one of the students that was writing this question in the live chat. What is the difference between AI and deep learning? Okay, so let us continue from right over here, guys. Now we are coming into the realm of deep learning. We'll start with the utmost basics. We are going back to 1950s. Okay, we are going back to 1950s, guys. Now you need to remember one thing that happened in 1950s. Two things, okay, that happened in 1950s. First thing, the fastest computer in the entire world. Okay, the fastest computer in the entire world was slower than your average mobile phone. Okay, the supercomputer of 1950s. Okay, supercomputer, the fastest computer in the entire world back in 1950s was slower, significantly slower than your normal mobile phone as well. Now, if you buy a mobile phone of like a Snapdragon or some thing, like not even the latest one, okay, your supercomputer back in 1950s was slower than your normal mobile phone, and your mobile phone is a lot more slower than the current laptops that we are having. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this first statement? Please do let me know. Great. The second thing at that point of time was that the researchers back in 1950s, okay, right, back in 1950s were just like you. Okay, were just like you. What they considered to be artificial intelligence was with one aim in their mind to create something that mimics the human intelligence. Okay, that mimics the human intelligence itself. That was the second particular point that I want you guys to remember for this. The researchers back then wanted to create something that mimics human intelligence. Will you remember these 2 points, guys? Please do let me know, guys. Great. So let's continue from right over here. The first question that I'm going to ask you, what is the part of our body? What is the part of our body that makes us intelligent? That is the first question that these researchers ask, that I want to mimic human intelligence. Then what is the part of our body that makes, okay, that makes us intelligent? Okay, that is our first question. Exactly, brain, right? Brain. So the researchers were, let's cut some particular person out, let's bring out its brain and start researching upon it. Like, how does the brain works? So they just got a particular person. I hope so that was not an alive person. I hope so that was a dead person itself. They cut their head open. They opened up the brain and they started researching about it. Then let us try to figure out how can we create this brain. Okay, artificially, of course. So Rishabh, exactly. So that is what they did as well. So they took out the brain. They started researching about it, and they got to know about neurons. They got to know about neurons itself. Okay, I think so most of you guys must be knowing about neurons. They look something like this. They look like some like very creepy ass stuff itself. If there was a insect that looked like this, I will definitely be staying away from that insect. Okay, I don't like insects at any particular point of time. So this, my drawing is not that great, but I hope that you guys are able to understand that this looks like a neuron itself. Okay, I hope so that you guys won't be teasing me about this as well. Okay, so this is a neuron that I've drawn right over here. These are also branches and things that are there. Just understand that there are some branches. Okay, this is just going way too slow. And this is the nucleus. So a neuron is nothing else but a cell, right? A neuron is nothing else but a cell. And they had billions of neurons. We have billions of neurons in our entire mind, right? And these neurons basically send electrical signals itself between themselves to get shit done by us. So that is how our brains work. Okay, that is how brains work. The researchers were like, oh shit, this is a neuron, right? We'll create this neuron artificially. Okay, we will create this neuron artificially itself. So they tried to recreate a mathematical formula. They tried to create a mathematical formula that was able to mimic a neuron. Okay, so how does a neuron work? Let's first understand that. How does a neuron work, guys? It receives electrical impulses from different neurons, maybe muscles, maybe optic fibers, whatever the case is. It receives electrical signals from all the places. Nandana Francis, is this story true? Yes, because that is the reason why I'm telling you. Why would I create a story for this? I would have. So it receives electrical signals from all over, maybe from other neurons, maybe from a muscle itself, maybe from the optic nerves, whatever the case is. It receives these electrical signals. The nucleus at the middle, right over here, okay, consumes these electrical signals. So let us draw this out. What is happening right over here, guys? This is the nucleus, right? This is the nucleus. It is receiving electrical signals from different places. Now this neuron itself understands these electrical signals, okay, takes up a decision, okay, takes up a decision, and that decision is then sent through the axon. So this long strand is usually called as axons, if I remember it correctly. So the output is then sent via the nucleus through the axons, through the dendrites that are there at the end itself. And these dendrites might then tell your muscle to contract, or maybe like punch a particular person, or maybe like now write something down. So that basically went from very violent to less violent itself. Or do like maybe some other like neuron that was there, that is, it is passing the information to. Okay. So that is what. So it consumes these inputs, takes up a decision right over here, and then generates an output. Okay, are you guys able to understand this particular diagram? I've just converted the neuron into a single as diagram itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. I've converted this neuron into a single diagram that mimics what the neuron is actually doing. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Now, what they did was, they were like, let's not go into biology. let's try to recreate this via mathematics. So this is our neuron. It will take in some inputs. Okay, it will take in some inputs and will generate an output for us. Okay, it will generate an output for us. Now this neuron, inside this neuron, whatever the thing that we are doing, okay, let us not, so this is a diagram. I'll use some other color to make sure that it does not, so there is some equation, there's some maths right over here. There's a maths right over here. There is an x1, x2, these are the inputs that we are getting, and y, that is the output that we are receiving. Okay, y, that is the output that we are receiving. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. So, have you seen something like this at any particular point of time where you are having, so think about maths, go back to ninth and 10th standard mathematics, go back to ninth and 10th standard mathematics. I'm not talking about anything else. Go back to ninth and 10th standard mathematics. Think about it. There are two inputs, there are two variables right over here. These are two variables, variables, variables out over here. Okay, just go back to ninth and 10th standard mathematics, two variables that are there. Okay, so you want an output, you want y is equals to something. Do you guys remember the equation in two variables? F of y is equals to f of x1 comma x2. Do you guys remember the equation in two variables? 9, 10, 10 and mathematics, linear equation in two variables. That's absolutely clever, Kayala. Linear equation in two variables. Go back to that particular time, 9th and 10th and mathematics. I'm not asking you to do anything hard. Everybody right over here is from college, 9th and 10th and mathematics. Linear equation in two variables. Can you guys let me know what was the linear equation in two variables, guys? A of x1 plus b of x2 plus c is equals to 0, right? A of x1 plus b of x2 plus c is equals to 0 itself. As simple as that. We have already studied about it. Linear equation in two variables. Linear equation in one variable was mx plus c. That's absolutely clever. It was in one variable. What about in two variables, guys? Okay. So what they did? What they did was they were like, hey, dude, we have learned 10 standard mathematics. This is the problem statement that we are having. Let's solve this problem statement using linear equation in two variables. That is the output that we want. Let me use some other color pen. The output that we want is y is equals to a of x1 plus b of x2 plus c. Okay, a of x1 plus b of x2 plus c right over here. How to implement it? How to showcase this in this particular diagram? So a of x1 plus b of x2 plus c. So we need a c as well. So we'll add another input right over here. That is c. And that is how we are able to receive this particular output right over here. That is y is equals to a of x1 plus b of x2 plus c. Where the mathematics that we are doing is just the summation of the inputs. The mathematics that we are doing right over here, the black box that we had that we were not able to understand is nothing else but the summation of the inputs that we are having. Sigma symbol, the summation of the inputs that we are having. So we are doing a of x1 plus b of x2 plus c, that is equivalent to y. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Pranav Manida. Sir, why only linear and why not other functions like square of x1 and cube of x2? Because Pranav, we are going back to 9th standard mathematics. We are doing things because the input is x1 and x2. The input is not x square and x cube. We'll be working according to the inputs that you are having. The input is x1 and x2 and not x square and x cube. We'll work according to the inputs itself. That is the linear equation in two variables, right? That is the linear equation in two variables. What I'm doing, I'm drinking Coca-Cola. My doctor said not to drink it, but I'm like, hey, fuck it, I need some energy while teaching. Otherwise, I won't be able to handle people in the live chat itself. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm getting a lot of tension. Why are people writing this? So that is the reason why. Okay, no issues in that. So let us try to understand this. Now that you have understood this particular statement, this is what the researchers, okay, this is what the researchers refer to as an artificial neuron. Okay, this is what the researchers refer to as an artificial neuron. Okay, this was the beginning. This was the beginning step, the first step towards deep learning. This is the first step towards deep learning, guys. The first step right over here, creating the very first artificial neuron. So you guys have started this particular journey, and you guys have created your very first, okay, your very first artificial neuron, guys. Okay, very first artificial neuron. Now, before going further into this itself, we'll be taking up your attendance. Okay, 10 minutes for attendance. There will be two attendances today because the class is going for a very long period of time. So I will be taking two attendances anywhere in the class itself. Right now, I'm going to take up the first attendance. You will have 8 minutes to fill up the attendance, guys. 8 minutes, nothing less, nothing more than that. Please keep your whatever process that you use for taking up the attendance ready. You have 8 minutes to fill up your attendance itself. Okay, this time I will be posting the link of the attendance down in the live chat. Okay, in the live, no, if I'm posting it in live chat, I can give you guys 5 minutes as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do, you have 5 minutes. Okay, you have 5 minutes to fill up your attendance. 5 minutes, not 8 minutes. 5 minutes to fill up your attendance. Okay, in the live chat itself. Okay, in the live chat itself. So I'll be posting the link directly in the live chat. You will have 5 minutes to fill up the attendance. Okay, you'll have 5 minutes to fill up the attendance. And Dinesh, I'm removing him from the boot camp. So one person, I am removing him from the bootcamp itself. I'll be giving you guys the attendance link for today. It will be there in the link, will be there on the live chat for just 5 minutes. Okay, in 5 minutes, those who are able to fill it up, they will be getting the attendance. Those who are not able to fill it up, will be no attendance. This is the first attendance for today. I will be taking two attendances today, most probably the 4.A and 4.B. Responses, open, send, link, shorten, copy, live stream, control V. So I've shared the link exactly at 8:23. The link will close at 8:28. The link will close at 8:28, guys. The link will close at 8:28. You have 5 minutes to fill the attendance, guys. 5 minutes to fill the attendance. Set an alarm for 8:28. You have 5 minutes to fill the attendance, guys. The link is there in the live chat. Teach me when inputs are more than 3. If the inputs are more than 3, then it will be equation in 3 variables. As simple as that. You have 4 more minutes to fill your attendance, guys. 4 more minutes. For cybersecurity, make careers, please, you will have to approach a counselor individually. Okay, because that is a limited program itself. We don't do it for everybody. So you will have to approach a career counselor personally and then talk to them about getting enrolled into the program. This form is 4B, right? Yes, this form is 4B. We'll be having one more attendance done today. There will be two attendances that will be there. Okay. So, like I said, the attendance link will be closed in 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes. सरकाज़म मेनिया, बच्चों का डेटा लेके क्या करते हो आप लोग? सर्टिफिकेट्स भेजते हैं, because without attendance we cannot send the certificates. Okay. Yes, the attendance is 4B, guys. It's 4B because there will be two attendances today. Great, Amit. Great. Like I said, guys, you have 2 more minutes to fill the attendance. Why 4B first? Because those guys will be coming on late and then they will be like, sir, I missed the attendance. Where is the 4A? So I was like, fuck it, let's keep put it 4B. Those guys who are coming in late, they will be like all tense and shit that we have missed our attendance. And Dave has missed the 4A attendance. Book for Python. I've already suggested now automating boring stuff with Python. That is the name of the book. Automating boring stuff with Python. So guys, if somebody asks where's the 4A attendance, tell them that sir has already taken it up. You have missed the attendance. Okay. We'll do it every single day. It will be amazing. One more okay, 1 more minute left, guys. 1 more minute left. You have just 1 more minute left, guys. No, I talk in Hindi as well. There's no issues. I talk in English, Hindi. I know a bit of Marathi. I know a bit of Bihari. So bit. Like I'm not that great. I know Sanskrit. Okay. So do you guys know what a mushroom is called as in Sanskrit? Okay. Do you guys know what mushroom is called in Sanskrit? It's Coca-Cola, dude. Why would I be drinking Budweiser in the presence of on a live stream itself? It's Coca-Cola. Okay, so the attendance link is now officially closed. Tomorrow I'll be doing the attendance a bit early because still I am able to see that more than 200 students who are not there in the class live are able to fill it up. We'll do that. Okay, tomorrow I'll take it a bit early so that nobody else is able to fill it up. The 4A has already been taken up. We have already taken up the attendance for 4A. So that those people who have missed the attendance of 4A, you will not be able to get the certificates. For those people who have missed the attendance of 4A, they have already missed out the attendance for 4A itself, guys. And like there will be another attendance after this. There will be one more 4C as well that I will be taking. Okay. Guys, the people who were there in the class with me live, you guys know, right? That 4A has already been taken us. Guys, help me out. We have given 4A, right? Yes, see, people are writing yes, sir, as well. We have done 4A. Why would I lie? See, people are there in the live chat. So many people are writing yes. Where did they receive the attendance from? Okay. Where did they receive the attendance? So mushroom is called as kukurmutta in Sanskrit. Okay, kukurmutta. Kukur means a dog and mutta means where he pees. So wherever a dog pees, there is a mushroom that grows. So in Sanskrit, a mushroom is referred to as kukurmutta. For those who are there from outside India, they can also know about this. Even I got to know about it like after 3 years of studying Sanskrit, and I was like, dude, this is fucked up. Okay, so can we continue with the class, guys? Please let me know. Can we continue with the class, guys? Please let me know. Great. Awesome. Okay, so now that you have learned about artificial neurons, okay, now that you have learned about artificial neurons, we'll be studying about perceptrons. There's a difference, okay? Perceptrons and artificial neurons are something that are usually used like in place of each other. So you can refer this as a perceptron, that is the official technical name, or an artificial neuron. But there is a difference, okay? There is a difference as well. This is what an artificial neuron is referred to as. But a perceptron is something that comes into deep learning. Please understand this. So somebody who told that perceptron and the artificial neurons are same. Yes, mostly they are referred to as with interchangeable names itself. But please try to understand that this is an artificial neuron, and now we are going to learn about a perceptron. The difference between an artificial neuron and a perceptron you will be able to see in the next 5 minutes itself. Okay, so please focus upon the class. Please focus upon the class and try to understand this. Okay, try to understand this. Now let us assume that you want to understand. Okay, you are getting a data. You're getting a data from some particular point of time that a particular person is male or female. Okay, the first particular data is it a male or a female person? Okay, the second data is its age. Okay, so this data is all of all the people that were there on Titanic. My lines are so bad. Okay, you guys will not be able to see it, right? It is behind my head itself. Let me do one thing. Let me just copy paste this particular aspect from right over here. Control C, delete, Control A, delete, Control V. Let's make this a bit smaller. Okay. Let us remove everything else that is not needed by us. Require this. We don't require this arrow. Okay, so what I'm doing right over here is that we have a data. We have a data for all the people that were there on the Titanic. Okay, you know Titanic, that ship that sank. Okay, where there was a lot of space on that door, but still Rose left the protagonist to die. So yeah, it is male or female. If that person is male or female, what is the age right over here? Age. Okay, and whether he survived or died. Okay, whether he survived or died. Okay, so now if it is a male or a female, we are referring males as 0. Okay, if it is a male, that means it is 0. If it is female, that means 1. Okay, if it is a male, that means it's 0. Okay, 0 stands for male and F stands for 1. Okay, we are using numbers right over here to figure out whether it's a male or a female itself. Their age, so the male age was 28, the female age was 21. Okay, the male person died, so for dead we are using 0, and for like survived we are using 1. Okay, that is like she survived the entire thing. Are you guys understanding this data that I'm using right over here? Survive means 1, dead means 0. Okay, are you guys able to understand this data that I'm putting right over here? Guys, there is no 4A attendance. Okay, there is no 4A attendance, only 4B attendance. I'll be taking up another attendance in the middle of the class at any particular point of time. Okay, any particular point of time. Please focus upon the class itself. Okay, please focus upon the class itself right now. Are you guys able to understand this data that I'm putting up right over here? Male means 0, female means 1, age, and then you are having a survived, that is 1, and died, that is 0 right over here. Okay, so what we want to do, okay, what we want to do right now is that if I'm putting this right over here, if I'm putting this entire stuff right over here, that x1, okay, so x1 is basically male or female, x2 is basically your age, and y is basically whether it survived or died. Okay, whether it survived or died right over here. Are you guys able to understand it? So x1, the input that we are taking is either 0 or 1, age is either 28 or 20, and the answer, you need to get the answer y as always 0 or 1. You need to get the answer as always 0 or 1. Now the problem with y is equals to ax1 plus bx2 plus c is that how can you make sure that your y answer is either 0 or 1 only? Because you cannot have this survived at 0.5, you cannot have this survived or died as 24. Okay, you always need the answer y value to be either 0 or either 1. How are you going to make sure that that happens? Okay, how are you going to make sure that that happens? Can you guys let me know? Can you guys are you guys able to understand this question? Are you guys able to understand this question itself? That x1 is basically male or female, age is basically your x2. Okay, why the answer you want it as only 0 or 1? Okay, only 0 or 1. How are you, and your linear equation in two variables that you have, the linear equation in two variables that you have, okay, that is the ax1 plus bx2 plus c. It can be any value. It can be any value. How are you going to make sure that the value x1 plus bx2 plus c is either 0 or 1? Is either 0 or 1. Okay. So for that, there comes, okay, for that comes the question of your activation function. Okay, that is where the problem statement gets solved by an activation function. Here we are going to use a binary activation function, guys. Here we are going to use a binary activation function. So what we are doing is, instead of putting the y as ax1 plus bx2 plus c, we are going to put it up as, let me show it to you guys. Y will be equal to, give me a second, it's taking a longer than I anticipated to build this. Control X, Control V, shift it a bit. Y will be equal to another function, g of a of x1 plus bx2 plus c. This will be our new equation that we'll be using. Okay, where g is basically a equation. So g of x, okay, let's draw g of x is basically equivalent to 0. G of x is equals to 0 if x is less than 0 and is equal to 1 if x is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, if x is greater than or equal to 0. See, this all notations that I'm using is 9th standard mathematics. G of x1, okay, that's basically a function. Okay, that's basically a function. This is 9th standard mathematics. This is not something that I will be explaining, guys. But this is 9th standard mathematics. I'm pretty sure that everybody in this bootcamp has basically cleared 9th standard. That is the reason why they are here in this bootcamp. So if I draw this g function out, let me make this entire table a bit smaller so that we get a little bit more space to work out with. Control X, Control V, smaller, it out here. So this g of x would be appearing as this. So this function g of x that we have created would look something like this. Before x was 0, so if x is less than 0, this is 0, right? So if x is less than 0, then the answer would always be 0. Okay, y would always be 0. And if x is greater than or equal to 0, if x is greater than or equal to 0, then y will be equal to 1. So this is 1. Okay, so this is called as an activation. This g of x is called as an activation function. Okay, it's called as an activation function. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you able to understand this activation function? Please do let me know. So now this is what is called as a perceptron. Up till now we were learning about artificial neuron, but these are both the names, you can use it interchangeably as well. Now your perceptron looks something like this. I'll be referring the g of x by a, that is activation function, capital A. Okay, I'll be referring to g of x as a capital A. Okay, because g of x can be anything. There are multiple activation functions that exist. So inside of the neuron, inside of the artificial neuron, the first step is summation, right? The first step is ax1 plus bx2 plus c. That's the first step of the mathematics that goes around right over here. And the second step is applying g of x to it. That is the activation function. That is the activation function right over here. So this is what we refer to as the artificial neuron or the perceptron. This is what we refer to as the artificial neuron or the perceptron. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this activation function? I'll give you guys some more examples of activation functions as well. I'll give you guys some more examples of our activation functions as well, guys. Great. So let us try to get some more examples to understand this concept in a little bit more depth as well. But this concept is very important, guys, to move further. Okay. Control A, delete, Control V. Delete all the unnecessary stuff that is there. Okay. Let us take up another example. Let us assume that x1, okay, your x1 is basically your temperature, and x2 is basically your humidity. Please listen to this particular example as well, guys. I'm explaining the same step once again in a different way. So x1 is basically your temperature, x2 is basically your humidity, okay, and you want to get the answer y as the probability that it will rain. Okay, the probability that it will rain. Okay, so you need to get that the x1 that you're taking up as input is the temperature. Let's assume that 27 degree, and x2 is humidity. I don't know how humidity is calculated, so some number right over here as well, and the probability that it is going to rain. Okay, so can you guys let me know? Probability lies between, the range of probability lies between 0 to 1. You cannot have the probability as 25. You cannot have the probability as -6. You cannot have the probability on between these. You have to have the probability, the answer y, between 0 to 1 itself. It needs to be present between 0 to 1. So for that as well, you need to make sure. So if you are having this y is equals to ax1 plus bx2 plus c, in that case, how are you going to make sure that the y lies between 0 to 1? How are you going to make sure that the y lies between 0 to 1? So for that, we have an activation function. Okay, we put this into an activation function that y is equals to g of ax1 plus bx2 plus c, so that it makes sure that y is always present between. So this function, this is called as an activation function, guys, that makes sure that y, the answer of y is always between 0 to 1. If always between 0 to 1, can be 0.25, it can be 0.33, it can be 0.5, but it always lies between 0 to 1 because that is what we need to achieve. So that particular is called as a step function. It's called as a step function. Okay. No, I'm so sorry. It's not called as a step function. I'm so sorry. It's called a linear function itself. Okay. It's called as a linear function. So right over here, the A, okay, the A, that is the activation function, is a linear function. So the activation function that you'll be using, the g of x, is basically g of x. Okay, g of x will have an answer is equals to x. That is the basic, like, so y is equals to x is basically your equation that you're using. G of x is equals to x. So right over here, the linear equation that you'll be using will be this. Okay, this is your linear equation. Okay, this is your linear equation. This is the activation function that you're applying right over here. Okay, This is the activation function that you are applying right over here. Is there some problem in this? Is there some problem in this? Please let me know. Just think about it. I've told you guys very wrong. I just want to understand whether you understood that I'm saying wrong or not. Because if you're listening to me properly, you will easily be able to understand that I'm wrong right over here. You guys let me know why I am wrong. Why is this not the activation function? You guys let me know why is this the wrong activation function. This is an activation function, but in this particular example, this is wrong. Think about that's great. Ritvik is paying attention. That's great, Ritvik. You are paying attention, sir. How can it be between 0 and 1 if it is linear? Right over here, the value is extending beyond that as well. We need to make sure that the value remains between 0 and 1. Rishabh, is this, if this is not entering into your brain, I can explain this to a 9th standard kid and he will be able to understand it. So are you telling me that you haven't completed 9th standard? Okay, this basic 9th standard mathematics, I've not even started proper deep learning. How would you be able to learn deep learning if you're not able to learn proper 9th standard mathematics? Okay. So like I said, this is the wrong activation function. The correct activation function that will be used right over here, it's called as the sigmoid function. It's called as the sigmoid function. I don't remember the equation of the function, guys. It has been a very long time since I looked at the equation of the function, but this sigmoid function looks something like this. Okay, this sigmoid function looks something like this. So this is 0 right over here, this is 1 right over here, and this is the sigmoid function. This is the sigmoid function that happens. So this is the activation function, sigmoid, S-I-G-M-O-I-D. This is the function that we'll be using as the activation function in this particular scenario, so that our answer always lies between 0 to 1. Our answer always lies between 0 to 1, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. So we have learned about linear linear activation function, sigmoid activation function. We have learned about your step activation function, the binary step activation function. Okay, so there are many activation functions that exist, and the use case of that depends upon the question that is currently there. Okay, the use case of that depends upon the question that is currently there. Are you guys able to understand this? Okay, I don't remember the exact activation function, but yeah, I think so. 1 upon 1 plus e to the power minus x. This is the activation function for sigmoid. Okay, this is the equation for sigmoid itself. I also feel that that's correct. So 1 upon 1 plus e to the power minus x. Okay, this is the activation function, guys. The activation function. Here the values can be 0.5 as well. The value can be 0.5, it can be 0.33, it can be 0. Something else as well. The values can be anything. Okay, values can be anything. But in the previous one, in the binary step activation function, it can either be 0 or it can either be 1. There is nothing else. Okay, you cannot have 0.5 as the answer. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Great. So for today's class, I'm giving you guys this particular homework. Please, I'm making sure that, see, whatever I've taught you guys today, make sure that you revise it and come to tomorrow's class. If you're coming to tomorrow's class without revision, I'm going to make sure that the first attendance that is going to be there will be a question from today's class itself. There'll be a question from today's class in tomorrow's attendance. If you're not filling that question up properly, if you're not filling that question up on time and properly, right answer, you will not get the attendance from tomorrow's class because you haven't done the assignment for today's class. I'm being very clear about it. Okay, today's assignment is to make sure that you have seen this entire video once again, learned everything that I have told you guys in this particular video, because in tomorrow's class, I will be having a question in the attendance. Tomorrow's class, I'll be having a question in the attendance. If you're filling that question wrong, you're providing the wrong answer right over there, I will not be giving you guys the attendance for tomorrow's class, because And if you are missing out on the attendance for tomorrow's class, you will not be able to get the certificate as well. You will not be able to get the certificate as well. So if you have to watch today's class once again, guys, okay, you have to watch today's class once again to understand everything. And that question will be an example that I've used in today's class. I'm telling you guys that as well. So don't think it will be something else. It will be an example from today's class. An example from today's class, guys. Okay, I'm being very clear about it right now. So tomorrow's class, if you are coming to the class without doing the assignment, you will not get the certificates. I'm being very sure of it. For today's attendance, those guys who have missed the attendance, make sure that you are present in the classroom tomorrow. I can pardon one attendance for you. It's okay. You missed the attendance. I know every one of you, most of you are not attending the classes on time. Make sure that you are revising this class today, coming to the class tomorrow on time. I'll ignore the attendance slack that you are having right over here. You will have 5 minutes right now to fill the secondary attendance. You will have 5 minutes right now to fill up the secondary attendance. That is more than enough time to fill up the attendance itself, guys. More than enough time to fill up the attendance. Okay? Because I'm just sharing the link as well. You don't even have to copy it, paste it, do something else on top of it. Okay? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything right over here, right? So make sure that you are filling the attendance properly right now. Okay? You'll have 5 minutes. As soon as I'm shared the attendance, you have 5 minutes to fill up the attendance, guys. But this attendance I will be counting. This attendance I will be counting, guys. Okay? So this is the attendance, guys, right now for today's second attendance for today's class. You have 5 minutes to fill it up. At exactly 8:57, the attendance will be closed. Okay, 4B, I can ignore it for right now if you are filling up the attendance on time. And tomorrow, if you guys are not coming without revision, I will make sure you are not getting the certificate. Okay? Because tomorrow you can only understand stuff if you are actually listening to me today. Okay? Set an alarm for 8:57. So you have up till 8:57 to fill up the attendance, guys. Set an alarm for 8:57. So we'll meet in tomorrow's slides, guys, directly, and we'll continue from right over there. Okay, please fill the attendance right now on time. You have up till 8:57 to fill it up. We'll meet tomorrow. Please come after revising today's class. If you are not revising today's class, you are not going to get the attendance on tomorrow's class. Okay, you are not going to get the attendance from tomorrow's class. If you're not revising today's class, guys, please do it. Thank you so much, guys. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you. Thank you.